Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night. It is your host, Brick, the Promodonis Johnson here. I am here with a good competitor tonight, a good interviewee. He's really hardworking in here in the promo world. We have Hodgesome.
What's up, Brick?
How we doing? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just trying to show off that new tag team championship. You know, I won an FTW.
Woo-hoo. Good job. Was that an FT Mania?
FTW Mania. Beat the Highway Hellraisers and the Sweet Brothers.
And who were was it the Sweet Brothers that were the champions?
No, the championship was vacated by the Lifeblood.
Okay.
So,
very nice.
Hodgesome and Chaos is your new FTW tag team champions. Just want to get that out the way.
Hodgesome and Chaos. That's definitely an interesting combo. I've seen you. I know you're a firecracker, and I know Chaos could be kind of a firecracker too. So that must have been. I'll have to go back and watch it. But congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
And then you have a match coming up here soon as well, correct?
That is correct. I'll have a match against the self-made man, Ivan Rage.
All right, and that's a qualifying match, or for the
winner
correct?
of that match goes against A-List Alverson for the
That's
Pure Heart
right.
Championship.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll come around to that. I thought maybe you were the Gauntlet. I do apologize, but yeah. So A-List, you're gonna go against A-List. Have you faced him before?
The only time I've ever faced A-List was in that tag team match with Hollywood Haywood against the Shot Callers, and they squeaked one out by us, man. So he's definitely got one on me already.
All right, now we have Hodgen here, and Hodgesome. Sorry about that. If you have any questions for me or Hodgesome, put it in the comments over here. So, how did you get into promos?
Well, Brick, my fantasy wrestling started the year of WrestleMania 30. I did more or less the draft picks as far as fantasy goes. I never got into the promoing, but I was always drafting kind of like fantasy football. You draft your wrestlers and you get points by winning, and that's how I started. I was doing that. I'm actually a 6-time FWL champion, fantasy wrestling champion in the drafting.
Nice.
How I got into promoing? Well, I had a bad relationship with one of the fantasy guys that I worked with, and he was screwing people over in his league. And he was going to all of these groups and trying to recruit people for a league that was screwing people. And I made sure that nobody was going to go to that group. So I was on those comments telling everybody how much of a crap head this dude was and that he wasn't worth the crap. And out of nowhere, the creator, Trey Davis, commented on that thread and invited me to Elite Marks. And I started Elite Marks almost a year ago. So my first match was at Elite Marks Mania Part 2. I was the opening match, and you fast forward 1 year later, I was in the main event of Elite Marks Mania 3. In 1 year, I've done more in Elite Marks than anybody has ever done in any EFED wrestling.
Nice, nice. So we do have a quick question here. What is the difference between predictions and promo battles?
Okay. Well, predictions is, you got to be able to, you got to know your knowledge of wrestling. You got to know your WWE. You got to know your AEW. You got to know your Impact. And I've been watching wrestling nonstop since I was 5 years old. I can't ever tell you the last time I missed a Monday Night Raw. I haven't missed an AEW Dynamite since it started. So I know what's going to happen before it happens sometimes. So what you do is you basically pick the wrestlers that you think is going to win. And if they do, you win. Now, promoing, that's a little bit different. It has nothing to do with your knowledge of wrestling. It has to do with your knowledge of verbal skills. And let me tell you, I started off, my first promo is pretty embarrassing. Okay.
I think we all have that, yeah.
Right.
We're all pretty great at the beginning.
But the great almighty Jay Briggy found me and took me under his wing. And he showed me ways to edit. He showed me how to promo. He told me how to think on my feet. And let me tell you, he has been the biggest blessing as far as me being a promo artist that I could ever imagine.
Okay, so you started with the predictions, you went to Elite Marks, and then now you're in FTW. How many other places EFEDs are you in?
I'm in the predictions. Now Elite Marks is predictions and promos. So I'm Elite Marks promoing. I'm in Fatal Fantasy Wrestling promoing, which I am the Aftershock champion. I'm in Wrestling Marks predictions. I am in Heart and Soul promoing. I'm in FTW promoing. I'm in FTW predictions. And I'm also in, there's one or two more, WGP. I'm in WGP promoing. Seems like there's a few more. I just can't think of them right off my head. But I have dwindled down because I have noticed that it's just a little bit too much sometimes. So Heart and Soul, FTW, Elite Marks, that's my mainstays. That's where I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna dedicate more time and effort to those leagues.
So how did you get into HSP?
HSP? Well, I first heard of HSP when we did FTW alliances. Okay. I was the captain of Team Elite Marks, and that's how I got to know HSP. I had never even heard of HSP until that. So we had our alliances match, and we kind of went all our own ways. And then me and Hollywood Haywood, it's no secret, me and Hollywood Haywood are really good friends. We talk, and he was telling me how great of a league HSP was. With Quack and you and everybody was, you get opportunities. You get opportunities in Heart and Soul. Yep. They care about you in Heart and Soul. The locker room has your back in Heart and Soul. And he told me that. And I told him that I wanted to come to Heart and Soul, but I wanted to be a tag team with Hollywood Haywood first. So that's how we started off. We started off, we was fire, man. We was hitting. We beat Master of Illusions and Negan in that live tag team match. And then the shot callers just called their shot, man. And let me tell you, we was not waiting for that. And they absolutely got us. And you know what? I'm going to say it right here, right now. I think shot callers are going to take it all the way and be the first HSP tag team champions.
I was going to ask you that if you think it was going to be the Hellraisers or the shot callers there. We actually got one for Ed. He says, how do you know that you've done more than any other person in the EFED world? I mean, we all toot our own horn. We're right. As big as our egos here. I mean,
look, I look at it like this. I've been in this promo universe for 1 year only. Okay. And in Elite Marks, I've been 2-time tag team champions. I've won the King of the Ring. I've won the Battle Bowl. I won the tag team tournament. There was like 2 or 3 other things I won. I've gotten so close to that Outbreak championship, boss. you know I was right there knocking on your door at that Revolution. Okay? Look, I'm this close from A-List Albertson. I'm this close from A-List Albertson. If I can beat A-List Albertson, I'll cement my feet in this HSP world as a main event player. And that's exactly what I want to do.
All right. Jeremy, Dr. Quack has a question. What makes a good promo artist?
A good promo artist? Well, it takes skills. It takes homing your craft. It takes being able to think on your feet. It takes, it's kind of hard to explain. You know, what I do, you know, it's a little secret, but what I'll do when I think of something, I'll write it down. I'll put it in my notes, you know, and I'll come back when I'm ready to film and I'll overlook my notes and I'll have a plan in mind of which way I'm going to direct this hit on my opponent, whether it be, you know, his past, whether it be, you know, what he got going on or what happened to him. If you can come up with a good plan, solid plan, and have it in your mind of what you're going to say and what you're going to do, you golden. Now, me, you know, I feel like the past 2 or 3 months, I've switched up the way I do things. Okay. I was tired of hearing, oh, it's the same old Hodgesome. He comes out and does the same old thing. Well, you know what? I changed it up. And guess what? When I change it up, they criticize me for changing it up, saying I'm stealing other people's ideas. I'm not stealing nobody's ideas. I'm coming up with my own ideas, and I'm going to do it, and everybody's going to enjoy it, and I'm going to win that championship because I changed to the ruthless cutthroat assassin where I don't give any slack to anybody anymore.
Yeah, no, I was to say if you're not changing then you're staying where you're at. You're not really growing. If you're changing, you're growing to a bigger, better promo artist. That's how I see it. How did you come up with the name, or who gave you the name of Hodgesome?
Well, Hodgesome has been a part of me since I was probably about 13 to 15 years old. You know how? Hodgesome was my first ever email address. Hodgesome was my first ever AOL screen name.
Okay.
So Hodgesome is awesome, just Hodgesome.
Nice. Real quick, do you prefer predictions or promo battles?
That is a very, very good question. Very good question. It's that's tough, man, because my bread and butter is predictions. I've been a multi-time predictions champion. This promo thing, it's really just starting to go in full gear, and I really, really love the adrenaline of it. I really, really love, I feel like, when I put things on screen, it's other things that I'm thinking about in my real life that I can't, let out. I let out my frustrations and my anger on screen on my opponents. My real life struggles that I have, I can let them out and go on somebody on screen, and they could hear, my pain and my punishment. And it just makes me feel so much better when I'm done. I can lay down and go to sleep and have a good, clear conscience without all the aggression and the heatedness in my mind.
All right. Well, real quick, we do have some more questions with Hodgesome, but really quick, we do got to pay the bills. We're going to take just a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
FTW Premier Promo League. The Promo Performance Alliance. Wrestling Geeks and Pariahs. The Voice of Honor. And Heart and Soul Promotions presents a showcase for everyone. The Champion Showcase, coming in June 2022.
So we got a few more questions here with your Awesome. Got one from Dr. Quack. What's your favorite scary movie?
Favorite scary movie? Well, I'm not much of a movie guy. I'm more of a series guy. But if I had to say a favorite scary movie, I'd have to pick one that really, really made me think, kind of freaked me out a little bit. It was called The Fourth Kind, about a place in Alaska that had some UFOs come down and take some people. It's based on true events. So that always kind of stuck with me, like shit that can really possibly happen. So that always kind of stuck out to me. Besides Return of the Living Dead that I watched when I was like 5 and freaked me out for years.
All right. We got one from Villain here. What's your favorite hot sauce?
Louisiana hot sauce, baby.
Nice. And then what do you do like outside of like promos and the predictions?
Well,
hobbies?
I'm not sure if anybody knows, but I'm a pest control technician. I ride around all day and spray businesses for roaches and stuff. Other than that, I have a wife and a daughter. We live out in the country, and we got a lot of animals. We have 3 dogs, 5 cats, 20 chickens, 2 rabbits. So that keeps us pretty busy, man. I just like to sit around and hone my craft, bro. Really, my only hobby these days are promoing. So the more I work on my craft, the better I get, the better the outcome will be.
I see. And we got one from Ed. Batman or Bartram?
Well, I don't know who Bartram is, but I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man to me is the coolest. I mean, Batman, he flies around or whatever, man. Spider-Man with them webs and stuff. It's just, you can't beat that. You can't beat shooting webs at people.
And then who is your dream opponent?
Dream opponent. Well, let's start with Elite Mark's dream opponent. That would have to be Zach Bell. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Zach Bell or not, but he's one of my dream opponents. Heart and Soul. I'd have to probably say A-List Alverson would be one of my all-time wanting to go against. I'm really, really, really hoping it happens because I'm really, really going to dig down deep and really hit A-List hard because I know that's the only way I could beat him.
So what if you went against Haywood? Would that be like another interesting opponent for you as well?
It
like
would
Hollywood
be.
Haywood?
Me and Haywood have gone against each other in predictions before. I want to say we're 1-1. Now, doing a promo against Haywood, you know as well as I do, that would be one hell of a tough promo. But I would give it everything I got, man. And, if it comes to that, it comes to that. And we'll just have to cross that bridge when it happens. But I still think me and Haywood got tag team gold to win in HSP.
All right. And then do you prefer tag team or singles in like wrestling and then also in promos?
Well, in wrestling, watching wrestling, tag teams have always interested me because you can rely on the other one. You do a move and guess what? The other one can come and do the same move. Now it's different in promoing because let me tell you something. If you don't have a good partner with a good drive that knows what he's doing, he's going to drag you down. You cannot depend on other people if you want to be a superstar promo artist. Because let me tell you, I've had partners that I had to carry, and it's not fun because you're constantly hounding them for promos or picks or whatever. So now I only pick the best. I only pick the best tag team partners. But obviously, I'm doing something right because I'm a 3-time tag team champion now that I've gotten the FTW tag team champions. Now, singly, I like to do my own thing. I like to do my own promos, but also it's also fun when you have a good tag team partner and you can go back and forth and bounce things off each other like me and Chaos did this past weekend.
And then who is your favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler? There's only one man that I feel like got me into wrestling, and I like to home him, and I take a lot of my creativity from him, and that man is none other than the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. So I was going to ask you if you could promo against any wrestler alive or pass away, who would that be? It sounds like you kind of made your statement right there. Would it be Stone Cold?
To have to go against Stone Cold Steve Austin would be unbelievable. But if I had to go against anybody, like one-on-one, I'd have to go with The Miz, man. The Miz is just my favorite heel, and I know he would just bring out the absolute best in me.
All right. Yeah, it says Bartman.
Bartman or Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about Bartman. Bartman was okay. I was never a Simpsons guy. I was more into South Park, Family Guy, stuff like that. I was never into the Simpsons.
All right. Do you have any like favorite cars that you like? Or
not really a gearhead. If I had to pick a favorite car, I'd probably pick the Chevelle.
Okay. So, like with the wife and kids, you cook at home, or?
Oh, I love to cook, man. I love to cook. In the South, we got to have the best of the best food. So
what's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, yeah. But my favorite food, if I had to pick an absolute favorite food, I don't know if you ever heard of boudin. Never heard of boudin. It's a rice and meat mix, kind of like sausage, but it's more like a rice dressing. You know what a rice dressing? Dirty rice.
Okay. It's
kind of like that, but in a in a sausage. And every different place makes their own different kinds. And I just love it, man. I love rice and gravy. I love meatball stew. I love all the old homemade stuff that your grandma used to make. Gumbo, crawfish.
So since you're like from Louisiana, have you met any other promo artists there in Louisiana? Because there's quite a bit that's down there.
Unfortunately, I haven't. Me and Chaos was actually supposed to kind of meet up today, but it didn't work out that way. But no, I haven't met any of my my promo guy friends. It's coming. It will happen eventually. But no, I haven't met anybody like that. I met Junkyard Dog about 2 weeks before he passed away. I met Junkyard Dog at Walmart.
Nice.
I've met I went to WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans, and I met Booker T, Eva Marie. There's a few others I've met here and there, but
so, let's go back to that. What was the reaction, or how did you feel when Undertaker lost at WrestleMania 30? I mean, it looked like a pin could drop.
That's what I was about to say. You could hear a pin drop in that dome. I looked around, people were in tears, man. People were actually crying, and like this was the end all be all. We thought it was a mistake. We didn't think it was real. I gotta say, man, WrestleMania 30, that whole weekend, I stayed. We did the Hall of Fame. We did the Ring of Honor show, and that's probably the greatest weekend of my entire life. I had so much fun on that trip that it's just nothing can top it.
That's really cool. And then what would you say is like your greatest achievement right now in promos or in predictions? Both one.
Greatest achievement right now, probably I have to say it was probably winning those tag team titles in FTW. I've been wanting to get a title in FTW for a long time. I had my opportunity against Hollywood Haywood, and he came up and he got me. But probably those tag team titles was one of the best moments of my career. Now, let me tell you something. Winning that Pure Heart Championship in Heart and Soul would be the top of the crop for me in my promo career, because to me, that would mean I made it. That would mean I'm a main event player, and anybody, on the right day with the right mindset can beat anybody. And I can beat A-List Alverson. I know I can, and I will do it. I'm the only person to beat Matt Anarchy.
Very nice. Who were some of your inspirations in wrestling, in the promo world and then in the predictions world? Like, who's some of your inspirations?
You talk about promo stars?
Well, like inspirations for promoing and inspiration for like predictions. Yeah.
Well, Bret Hart was always one of my favorites. Stone Cold. The Stone Cold Vince McMahon feud is what molded me. Vince McMahon versus Austin is what molded me into the wrestling fan I am today. I never watched NWO. I never watched the WCW. Yeah. I was always DX and Austin versus McMahon. And that is what really, really motivated me. Now, in the promo world, some of my favorites, Zach Bell, again, is one of my all-time favorites. The Creator is another one. I really like, Big Sweet. Big Sweet's a damn good promo artist. Mr. Wallace, Hollywood Haywood. Even A-List. The Roughneck, American Roughneck is one of my favorites. I like Heathen. I like a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys I really hope one day we have a match together with.
We got a couple more questions here. American Dad or Family Guy?
I got to go with Family Guy.
And then favorite Stone Cold movie?
Favorite Stone Cold movie? Expendables. Got to be the Expendables. He was just a complete badass with the rest of the badasses over there, but he still was the biggest badass out of all of them.
All right. And then you also have a podcast as well. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, me and Knighton, we kind of help out Trey Davis with the Elite Marks podcast. The other day, we put out the top 10 E-Feds, all the way around. And HSP was on that list. HSP was on that list. So was WGP, Elite Marks, FTW. But we made it happen. We got coming up next week, maybe, the top 50 promo stars. And then the following week, I think, is the top 50 prediction stars. So your name could very well be on that list, and you're going to have to tune in to find out.
Have you guys, and then what makes it like, were you, when you did the promotions list, were you surprised in some of the names that were on there or how high they were?
I was. The top 10 fantasy E-Feds, I was very surprised. There was some on there that I don't think deserved to be as low as they were. And there was some on there that was way too high, in my opinion. But, everybody has their own opinion. I like pages like HSP, WGP, Elite Marks. I feel like they're fair and down the middle. I like to make sure that when I'm doing something, it's getting a fair strike. And with FTW and with Heart and Soul, you have judges' feedback. And these other leagues, who's to say the owner isn't just picking who he wants? You know what I mean? That's not fair to me. Somebody that puts their heart and soul into something that they do and they love and that drive that they have, I'm not going to put it up to some person that thinks the other guy's his friend, so he's going to let him win. No, it's got to be judged fairly, a fairly even judged match.
All right. And we're just going to kind of wrap up the show here. But if you were to give one advice to like somebody that's new, somebody that is coming in, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them, sit back for the first month and a half, and just watch and listen. Okay? Don't open your mouth, because if you open your mouth to the wrong person, you're going to get buried, and you're not even going to have an opportunity to start. Sit back, watch, listen, know the product, and then pick the person you think you can beat. And if you can, call them out, make a name for yourself, but make sure you got it up here and you got it down here before you do. Because if you open your mouth to the wrong person, you'll get buried and you won't have a career in the E-Fed world.
All right. Well, you guys, I want to say thank you for all the questions in the comments over here. Thank you to my guest, Hodgesome, for being on Conqueror TV. I'm Brick Johnson, and this has been Conqueror TV.
Thanks, Brick. Appreciate it, buddy.